It is important that global brands understand cultural paradoxes. Moij states that the art of advertising is to develop symbols or advertising properties that must be understood by a target audience. Nike. The world famous brand focuses on catering for the needs of different people regardless of their ability. It is important for them to break barriers in certain parts of the world, and it is visible in the free videos that we look at from Turkey, Japan, and USA, where the cultures restrict certain people from participating in sports and the free adverts tailor to their target audience. The free videos focus on inspiring women to get involved in sports. Nike is a brand that encourages individuals and groups to push beyond their potentials, and this is supported by the innovation of their products, and which are becoming more sustainable, playing their part in social corporate responsibility. This presentation will go through Hofstede's cultural dimensions using individualism and masculinity. We'll also analyze the advert using two major elements of culture, language, and norms. Three countries were based on the fact that they are strong economies within their region and they are in different parts of the world. One of the adverts focuses on Nike Japan. Japan is the world's third largest economy according to Reuters. The impact of COVID has led to the economy shrinking, with Japan's GDP falling to 0.8%. The most popular sports brand, according to a survey covered by Statista September 2021, it shows that Nike was the most popular sports brand, with almost 39% of respondents stating it was their favourite brand. USA, which is the birthplace of Nike, has also been selected as it is has the strongest economy in the world. The impact of COVID had been minimal, with the economy growing by 2% in the third quarter of 2021. America's biggest contributor to GDP is the economy's service sector, including finance and real estate. The third Nike advert looks at Turkey. Turkey has one of the highest number of Nike stores in Europe, with a total of 93. The economy is also projected to grow 8.5% in 2021, even after the impacts of COVID. Turkey is strategically located at the crossroads of the Balkans, Caucasus, Middle East, and Eastern Mediterranean, showing a variety of different cultures. Using Hofstede's cultural dimensions, I will focus on individualism and masculinity. This refers to the strength of the ties that people have to others within their community. It has to do with whether people's self-image is defined in terms of I or we. In individualist societies, people are only supposed to look after themselves and their direct family. In collectivist societies, people belong in groups that take care of them in exchange for unquestioning loyalty, stated by Hofstede Insight. USA's high individualism score indicates weak interpersonal connection among those who are not part of a core family. Here, people take less responsibility for others' actions and outcomes. This is visible in the advert as it ends with the slogan, "It's only crazy until you do it," just to do it emphasizing the individual's responsibility. In contrast to Turkey's and Japan's cultural norms, the advert put more emphasis on individualism instead of collectivism, linked to the company's mission statement, "If you have a body, you are an athlete." Turkey's cultural dimensions show the idea of collectivism is more favourable where their culture is to be part of their core family, which is portrayed in the advert with an opening scene of a family photo with the father as a dominant figure over the family as a patriarch. However, the Nike Japan advert starts and ends with the idea of a family being together, emphasizing that regardless of the path the brand takes people, family is important. Even though the USA advert has teams playing in sports, it emphasizes what the individual does for the team and what you can do by yourself, but it can be implied that sport teams are like families. Analysis of Hofstede's individualism dimension based on the three countries. Turkey has a harmony of group with a collectivist society, and they very much emphasize the whole of the idea of we. Similarly, Japan have a harmony of group, and in society they have nuclear families and not extended families compared to Turkey. Japan also experienced as collectivist by Western standards and experienced as individualist by Asian standards in their region. They look after each other as well. In contrast, USA mainly are liberty and justice for all. People look after themselves and are very much individualistic, and people are given freedom to express themselves and develop their own ideas. Now I will focus on the masculinity aspect of Hofstede's cultural dimensions. A high score on this dimension indicates that the society will be driven by competition, success and achievement, with success being defined by the winner or the best. A low score on the dimension means that the dominant values in society are caring for others and quality of life. A feminine society is one where quality of life is a sign of success and standing out from the crowd is not admirable, as stated by Hofstede Insight. Even though Turkey have a mid-level of masculinity, Nike go against their cultural norms to attract the audience by showing a high level of masculinity amongst women, with winning and being the best as a core aim in this advert. With masculinity, this value system starts in childhood and continues throughout one's life, both in work and leisure pursuits. In the Nike Japan advert, this is portrayed as it starts from the idea of a baby girl being born and envisioning what she can achieve with following the concept of the brand. In all aspects of life, the narrative of the girl followed in this video is one of success in leisurely sports and work in the office, even though there is a high level of competition. Finally, Nike USA's core concept thrives on masculinity. The idea of success is at the heart of every sport, from athletics to skateboarding, and portrays success by individuals as not just winning, but overcoming social barriers. This is also emphasized with having the most successful US sports team, the US women's football team, at the end. Analysis of Hofstede's masculinity dimension based on the three countries. In Turkey, leisure time is very important, and spending time with family and friends is very much an aspect of society and community. There is very much sympathy for the people that are underperforming. In Japan, there is a high level of competition amongst the people. The drive for excellence, perfection is very high, and workaholism is another expression for their masculinity from a very young age. Finally, USA show their achievements and success is very important, with a high level of competition right from college up until university. There is very much an individual drive, and people are free to talk about their own successes. The final reflective critical comparisons of the three videos will involve elements of culture, focusing on language and norm. Language is the greatest form of communication, where you get to express yourself and doesn't need to just be verbal, but can also include body language. The norms cover the standards and expectations in society, with formal norms looking at laws and informal norms looking at customs. Nike very much keep to the language of the three different countries. In the Nike Turkey advert, they use the body posture and actors holding their heads up high to show that culturally they are strong and very proud of who they are. Words like delicate and humble are used to define women from Turkish culture as well. The language used in the Nike Japan advert is very much traditional, with words like girl translated in Japanese. This is to keep to the traditional language used and accepted by Japanese culture. The body language also shows happiness constantly, which is very much thriving throughout Japanese culture. And the concentration and focus with Japanese people working constantly is also portrayed throughout the video. For the USA Nike advert, the body language emanates culture of energy and freedom, with people moving around freely and running around constantly. They ask rhetorical questions constantly about gender equality with a philosophical voice, showing the culture of changing norms, breaking barriers, and discovering new ideas. Even though the Nike Turkey advert goes against social norms, it still keeps to some elements where it shows a family unit where the dad is giving orders, and it also shows how girls should be treated with gold jewelry by their families and husband. In contrast, the Japan video shows the norms of girls as studying, cleaning, and enjoying playing with dolls and cuddly toys. The Nike USA advert very much conforms with society. It shows that students going to college and playing sports, and it also shows freedom of expression in regards to sports, which is very much part of society in USA. One of the limitations of Hofstede's cultural dimensions is that cultures are now borderless due to globalization and increased tourism. Further to this, the inception of the internet has led to the fact that content can now be shared with a means of cultural exchange. A new generation means workforces are more diverse, with people working around the world, with education also becoming an important factor in cultural dimensions being exchanged. Further to this, a culture of a country may be different around different parts of a country, for example, Dubai compared to the rest of UAE. And the last reason is that Hofstede's research was based on surveys in the 1960s and 70s. And during that period, economic and political conditions of most countries are different compared to now. Adverts are successful when they can connect with their target market by respecting and understanding their culture. The ever-changing cultures mean companies need to be adaptable, but to stand out from their competitors, they need to at times do something de-aligned to the culture and challenge the norms to get people talking. However, this does need to be conducted cautiously. As Japanese American journalist states, many Japanese do not like to be told by voices to change their ways, stated by Harper 2020. Overall, Nike have globalized by sticking to their mission and vision statement and have educated and challenged cultures to be more open and allow individuals to be free. Nike's effective approach has allowed them to gain a big market share, becoming one of the most recognized brands around the world.